This is Brent Starts with United Lending from Stuart, Florida. Just give a shout out to Thrivetime Show and Clay Clark. We've been with them for, 3 years now. We've been working with them to help us with our systems, get our arms around our numbers, get some great systems in place as far as marketing, working with our Dream 100, holding us accountable.
Process. We will do a 13-point assessment. I will personally, Jason, why do I personally do the assessments?
Well, one, you want to vet and make sure that it's somebody who's a diligent doer. You have a very good way of vetting people.
Like Christina in Boston, your client.
Mm-hmm.
Super great lady.
Awesome
Like
lady.
Kevin with MultiClean in Tulsa, great guy.
Great.
I mean, you have so many great clients. So what we're going to do now is we're going to teach everybody the system to grow a mortgage. By the way, there are hundreds of action items we're taking. Steve, there's hundreds of things we did, but I just want to walk you through how we're going to this year how we're going to get to that big goal of $50 million.
Right.
One, we created Dream 100.
Yep.
Jason, what's a Dream 100?
Dream 100 is a list of people that will completely change your life by reaching out and doing business with them.
Okay, so one, you create a Dream 100 list of people that you want to do business. Now, Steve, if you on your Dream 100 list, why do you want to put people that you're not currently working with but you want to work with?
Because that would increase the amount of business that you're getting, because you would then be getting business from someone that you're not currently getting business
So
from.
I think 5 years ago you said, Clay, I want to work with the largest home builder in Oklahoma.
Yep.
And I believe that you diligently, faithfully, comedically, persistently, aggressively, perhaps annoyingly, passionately reached out to them every week, every week, every year, every week, every year, every week, every year, every day, every week for the year, every week for the month, every week for 5 years.
Yep.
And now Shaw Homes has been referring you deals.
Right.
And now.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Wow, you really went for it, didn't you?
I did, and it was so much fun.
Really committed to it.
Yeah.
That image is...
You, this year, will probably bring, this year, it's realistic to say Shaw Homes, based on the current sales and what's in the pipeline, and we're probably, Shaw Homes, who when I first started working with them, per your referral, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. That's how deep I got on the Dream 100.
And Steve referred them to me. We've grown them from $37 million, and we just passed, I think, $80 million for 2019.
Yep.
And we're on board, though. We're on track to hit $100 million in sales in the year 2020.
Yep.
And you're going to get about 60% of those referrals based upon, because they refer you, but they can't you can't require a buyer to use you.
Yeah, but they incentivize them, and it makes it easy. But they have 4 preferred lenders.
But some people, are going, I already know a guy, I already have a mortgage relationship, my cousin's a banker, whatever. But if we conservatively say 60% of those referrals go to you, and they sell conservatively $85 million of houses.
Yep.
And then you factor into that another $10 million of production just off of word of mouth.
Yep.
And
Past
Google.
clients, Google, yeah.
You're definitely, we have a very good friend of ours who just recently, no brainer, reached out to you to get a mortgage for a mega house. That's pretty cool.
Yep.
Because you're the best.
Yep.
Now, how do we, Steve, why do you believe that our mutual friend reached out to you and decided to use you versus the other people? Because again, 5 years, there's a lot of other mortgage people that have been in and just kind of surviving for the last 5 years. Why would he, who could use anybody in town, why would he go to you?
I think it's because I've built a relationship with him. I've done a couple deals for
just seared in my brain.
You're welcome. My goals!
People in his family, and have just gotten to know him. And I stay in touch with him, and I care about making sure that I have a relationship. And, 3 or 4 years ago, I didn't know that this person was going to call me in 3 or 4 years to buy a massive house, which will probably be the largest individual loan that I do in 2020.
Sweet.
But you just don't know, but you just stay in, you just work relationships and stay in touch with them. And what I found too is within Thrive, there's a lot of other business owners that think and act like I do and like you do, and they believe in the system that you teach. And so you have a lot of common ground with people like that. So when you meet people that are within the Thrive group, they think and act like you, and then they want to work with people that think like them and that work like them.
So Proverbs 29:18 reads this. Proverbs 29:18 reads, Proverbs, by the way, a book in favor of action. Proverbs in favor of action. Where there is no vision, the people perish, but he that keepeth the law, happy is he. Now, I've been working on my own. It's not a Bible. That'd be sacrilege. I can't add to the Bible. But this is Clay 29:18. Does that sound fair?
Yeah, I just call it El-Bib.
This. If you don't want deep
It's just a
spiritual
backwards
truths
Bible.
and you want a book strictly on making money, I eventually should do that.
This is the Clay El-Bib. What's the Clay El-Bib? Don't worry about it.
So
Only the smart people figure out that it's just Bible backwards.
It's first. It's second Clay 29:18. You might say.
You okay?
I'm sorry, it's a little queasy.
You want to watch the video again and make you feel better?
Some shows don't need a celebrity narrator to introduce the show, but this show does.
What's second Clay 29:17? Doesn't
Yes,
matter.
yes, Clay.
All right, here it is.
Glory.
All right. So, I tell you what, this is from the book of Bob. Actually, this is from the second book of Bob, 29:18. Okay, but here's the second Clay 29:18 reads, without a vism, your digital marketing presence will perish. So step one, homies out there, make that Dream 100 list and diligently follow up until they cry, buy, or die. All right?
Yep.
Step two, though, you got to get video reviews every week. Jason, why?
Because you need actual proof of actual customers speaking about how amazing you are.
Second, you got to get optimized images. So VI. V as in video reviews. I as in images optimized every week. Why do you want to get that on your map and your website?
Because that's extra content. I mean, if you look at what the Colas are doing, they take up, 8 of the 12 available spaces on page 1 of Google with having videos and
If you search for Joplin gyms, those guys are dominating. And
Hey,
then-
Charles, if you're out there listening, I mean, how come you don't have 10 out of 12? Maybe you're just not as good as you thought.
And then the S is more search engine content. Steve, why do we have to add new content? Why do we have to add at least 24 articles a month to your website?
Because it's new, fresh content about the subjects that we're experts at.
And then M, Jason, why do we have to get more reviews?
Because if you stop or even if you get none, your competitor will surpass you.
So here we go. You got the V, you got the I, you got the S, you got the M. You've got to gather. You've got to do it. VISM. Video reviews, images optimized, search engine content, more reviews. Glory. That's how you grow a business.
2 men, 8 kids, co-created by 2 different women, 13 multi-million-dollar businesses.
That's how you set goals. That's how you get in control of your life. You want to be an intender, a pretender? You want to be somebody who just runs around with your head in the TED Talks blender? Don't come to our conference.
Yeah,
But if
hey,
you're
just-
somebody out there that wants to implement and diligently apply something, if you're somebody who says, you know what, I'll try it for a month or 2 and I'll see, get out of here. But if you're somebody who wants to stick around for 5 freaking years of domination, you got to join the team. And then once you start having success, I a lot of times feature our clients on the show. And one thing I like to do is I like to allow our clients to kind of share with our 500,000 listeners something cool they're working on. Try to create some more exposure for our listeners out there, for our clients to share and direct traffic towards what they're doing. And what's your website for your Tulsa-based branch of Total Winning Concepts?
It is stevecurrington.com.
SteveCurrington.com.
Just my name.com. But here's the cool thing. If you just search Tulsa Mortgage or Tulsa Mortgages or pretty much about anything, because of our 5 years that we work with Clay and Thrive, we're top for everything. So I don't even tell people anymore, I won't even tell them our company name. I'll just be like, look, just go to Google and put in Tulsa Mortgage.
Ooh.
Because we're at the top. We have literally 5 times as many reviews as anyone else that's even close to us. And we're actually up at the top of the organic results for about every. I just got my SEO report last night. I guess you guys were working yesterday.
Yep.
Or something.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Working on New Year's
On
Eve.
the New Year's Eve. That's
crazy.
But I got my report, and we're literally at this point trying to be top for the most.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Thrivetime Show.
2, 1. Here we go.
Random searches that are done 12 times a month because we just are dominating everything. We have 610 reviews now on our
610 reviews.
just on the Tulsa location.
Now, tip number three. Okay, let's think about this for a second. So step 1 was make a Dream 100 list and follow up every week until you get those referrals.
True.
Step 2 Step 2 was the VISM, the video reviews, the optimized images, the search engine content, the more reviews on Google. Now, the final step is you want to over-deliver until you get overpaid. Napoleon Hill says when you over-deliver, eventually you will be overpaid.
It's on the bathroom door. I love it. It's my favorite.
So what you have to do, though, because remember, Steve, do you remember your dad?
Yeah. Yeah, I remember.
What's your dad's name?
Dennis.
How did your dad first meet me? Do you remember him telling you the story, or did I tell you the story?
Yeah, I think he met you at the Tulsa Chamber of Commerce when you won the the Young Entrepreneur of the Year award from the Tulsa Chamber.
Yeah, your dad was at the chamber. What was his role at the Chamber of Commerce?
He was the Small Business Development Director from 2000 to 2008.
And so I had to get his stamp of approval before receiving that award from the SBA. You know, because I started off as the Young Entrepreneur of the Year award when I was 20 years old. Yeah. And here I am, 27 now, meeting your dad again. He looks just like Sean Connery, by the way. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
So what
I
you got to
call
do?
him Sean.
Wow.
So what I want you to do right now is I want to read this quote to you, and then Jason, I would like for you to explain what this quote means to you. Okay.
Got it.
So Napoleon Hill, the best-selling self-help author of all time, reads. Let me read this verse to you, or let me read this quote to you. He says, "You can start right now where you stand and apply the habit." Started from the bottom, and we'll show you how to get here. Started from the bottom, now we here. Started from the bottom, now we here. Going the extra mile by rendering more service and better service than you are now being paid for. So again, you can start right now where you stand and apply the habit of going the extra mile by rendering more service and better service than you are now being paid for. Remember, I met your dad a long time before I met you, and if I had effed that up, and I say F, I mean it's like fooled around.
Messed that up.
If I had messed that up, then your dad would have probably said, avoid that guy. Right. And we would probably not be sitting here talking.
He still said that.
Jason, what does it mean? What does it mean what does the habit of rendering more service mean to you? What does that mean to you?
Well, going back to over-delivering is you can do just the base of what your business is expected to do. Like if you're a landscaper, people can pay you $80 for you to mow their lawn. But if you're the guy who also shows up and does edge work and then branches and leaf removal, all for the same price, and you're not even asking for anything different, you're just solving a problem for somebody, eventually you're going to get more leads from that because you over-deliver. You're going to be able to offer more services. People are going to offer to pay you more.
How do you, Steve, over-deliver at Total Lending Concepts? I mean, because there's a lot of banks that have bankers' hours, where you call to apply for a loan, and if it's Christmas Eve or the day after Christmas, or if it's New Year's Eve or New Year's Day.
Or Saturday.
You get a voicemail.
Yep.
Talk to me about how you are different than a typical banker.
Well, I love what I do, so I work constantly. I work 24/7. I work literally every day. I have not taken a day off I've traveled.
Yes, and yes. Thrive Nation, on today's show, we are joined with an incredible guest, Steve Currington. How in the heck are you?
Like in the last few months, but I didn't take a day off when I traveled. I still worked like remotely like I do a lot of times. But yeah, we don't work bankers' hours. That's the biggest thing
there it is.
For us. We just don't work bankers' hours.
You don't work bankers' hours.
Most people are, when you've done the Shaw Homes group interview, right? Yep. So what do you tell people is like, if you're going to sell a house and you work for Shaw and you don't want to work nights or weekends, then you're going to fail because most people work during the week. And the time that they're deciding to buy a house is in the evenings or on the weekends.
Yep. Right.
Well, it's the same time that people are like, when they're trying to buy a house, is they're doing what? They're getting referred to a lender to get pre-approved so they can see what they can buy. And there's many lenders that just aren't available. So like I got one out of the Oklahoma City group. She texts their preferred lender at the time in that area on Saturday at like 3 p.m. And then he didn't respond. So she messaged me. I got right back to her. She told me Monday that she got a text back from him on Sunday night at 7 p.m. that said, hey, get a hold of me Monday and I'll help you. And so because of that, I got a $350,000 purchase that someone's
So you just made, $4,000.
Yeah, because I answered the phone because I was available whenever the client is ready to do it. Because some guys just think, well, here's my hours and I work 8 to 5 and, come into my branch and then you can get your mortgage. But that's how we're different.
So what I want to make sure we're getting out of this, folks, is we're trying to teach you specific goal setting moves. But then once you've set the goal, you've got to activate. We've got to get beyond this idea of having yet another.
Oh, I'm amazing. How are you, Mr. Clay?
Well, I'm excited because this is. I know this show will come out in probably March-ish, but this is the time of the year where a meeting about another meeting about a meeting about the strategy. We've got to start to take some action.
Yep.
And Steve, you had a vision about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, to start a YouTube channel.
Yep.
Called what?
Lambros.
Lambros, Lambros. Is that right?
Yeah, it's my bros that drive Lambos.
And I'm not saying that I'm going to go out this. I'm going to say I do not endorse the channel. I'm going to come out there and say I don't endorse it. Let me tell you why you're going to love it or not love it. Steve drives around a Lamborghini very, very fast, like at a speed that could kill a man. What's the fastest you've driven in that Lamborghini?
Today?
Ever.
Well, it says it'll go 201. So I had to test that. So
you've driven 201 miles an hour in your Lamborghini.
Well, 203, but who's counting? Today, though, I only got it up to 185. But that was just right before 9 a.m. So
let's make sure we get this. You set a goal. You said, I want to buy a Lamborghini, and you've done it.
Yep.
But you also like to drive 200 miles an hour, and you have a YouTube channel essentially about that.
Yeah.
And I remember one time in our meeting, I said, hey, I just want you to know, you might die as a result of this. And you told me, do you remember what you told me?
No, I probably said, good, I'll be dying doing what I love.
That's what you said.
Yeah.
That's what he said. So I don't endorse the channel. I'm just saying,
like
if you want to check it out.
Someone crashes in their Lambo and dies, and everybody's like, oh, my God, that's so tragic and sad. And I'm like, I bet I had a freaking smile on my face, like right when I hit the wall or whatever.
You're like 206.
Got a ton of insurance, but
today
I was running next to this Dodge Viper. He has a V10. I have a V10. And I was like, bring it, buddy. But he had to shut it down at 180.
Okay, so if you're out there today and you're interested in vicariously driving fast through Steve Curry, a lot of people are setting goals. You know, this first quarter of the year, people are setting big goals. And you and I have been working together for how long now?
Oh, man.
Check out the Lambros YouTube channel. And, guys, we like to end each and every show with a boom, but these mics are super hot on this 1st of January 2020 when we are recording the show. So we'll just kind of back that thing up like Juvenile when bringing it home here. Okay, here we go. You like that back that thing up reference?
That was a great reference.
You're a big, fine woman. Won't you back that thing up?
Why don't we do this? I think we can do it this way.
Girl, who is you playing with?
I think we can do this. I think we can do it. I think we can do back that thing up.
The edited version.
So let's do that. Watch this. Watch this.
This guy's a Juvenile.
So we do this. Here we go.
I see what you did there.
And then we'll end with a 3, 2, 1.
Oh, yeah.
Are you ready?
You gotta crank that up, Clay. Come on now.
Well, it's already coming in so hot. I don't get it. It's like super loud. It's weird. Here we go.
Feel the music.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Boom!
Clay, my honor to be on your show. And thank you for all you do. I hear the ripple effects from you are good ripple effects. You know what I mean? People rave about what they learned from you. So congratulations.
Sean, guess what's happening June 5th and 6th right here in Tulsa, Jerusalem?
We are probably going to have an amazing business conference here at Tulsa, Jerusalem.
Yes, we're joined by Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow is going to be joining us right here at the Thrivetime Show World Headquarters, June 5th and 6th. He's a very successful football player, obviously a Heisman Award winner, but he's also a very successful entrepreneur. Now, when you work with real clients, Sean, clients you really work with to help them grow their companies, do you ever hear a business owner tell you that they didn't have time to get something done?
Every day.
How often is not having enough time a problem for business owners?
And so actually hooking us up with a lot of fine vendors as well that saves us a lot of time, and those referrals really helped us out as well. But we've seen tremendous success putting those in place, getting our Google.
Since 2000, so it's 2020.
2020, and we've been working together since
in December of 15. So this
about 5 years.
December will be 5 years.
Okay, yeah. And so we have some really cool stuff
all the time. It's like maybe 90% of the issues as people are trying to grow their company.
Well, Tim Tebow is going to come join us here at the in-person Thrivetime Show 2-day interactive business workshop, and he's going to teach us time management and his approach to personal self-discipline and getting things done. Also at the workshop, I'll put it up on the website so people can see it here. Also at the 2-day interactive workshop, Sean, we are going to be, there it is, we're going to be teaching accounting, systems creation, marketing, human resources, how to hire, inspire, train, and retain great people. accounting, social media advertising, search engine optimization. Sean, what's the area where most clients ask you for help the most? Is it generating leads? Is it hiring people? What's the biggest issue that most business owners have by default before they come to one of our workshops?
Well, I think it's management, because time is the most valuable resource for these business owners, and being able to manage their time is the first thing. Once they get that under control, then generally the numbers, being able to track their business and be able to make the best decisions based on numbers rather than emotions is a big area. And we teach all of this stuff at the business conference, particularly you, Clay. You love to hammer on time management. It's my favorite part of the conference.
Now, I'm going to pull this up real quick here because we're going to go through. If you're not excited, I want to get you excited about what we're going to cover at the workshop here. Okay.
All right.
The 2-day interactive workshop. This is my 20th year hosting workshops. So I'm telling you, folks, we're in rare form here. So one is the idea of establishing your revenue goals. I think most entrepreneurs celebrate as we talk about goal setting. So we're going to make this very realistic, very doable. Jason, don't know their revenue goals. Would you agree, or am I off my rocker?
No, that's totally a very important point we do with every one of our new clients that come on board, is we have to establish the revenue goals. And generally speaking, we have a vague idea, but not an exact idea that can be engineered down into like the daily goals for sales. And so that's a really big one.
Now, next is the break-even numbers. What kind of sales do you have to do to even break even?
Yeah.
Third is how many hours per week do you want to work? What is your ideal schedule as an entrepreneur? Box number 4, how do you stand out in the clutter of commerce? What makes your company unique from all the different businesses? In a world of brown cows, herds of brown cows, proverbial brown cows, the analogy of brown cows, how can you be the purple cow that stands out? How can you be the squeaky wheel that gets the oil? Box number 5, branding. How do you improve the perception that people have of you, your business, your brand? Box number 6, marketing, your 3-legged marketing stool. What is a turnkey way for you and your company to generate leads so you can succeed? Because if you don't have any leads, your business will bleed. If you can't sell, your business will go to hell. You've got to generate leads. Sean, how often do business owners by default tell you they have a hard time generating leads?
It's almost all of the time. It's really a huge struggle. And many times they may be creating leads, but just through word of mouth. So they get to a point where we've implemented systems, and then they need to create more leads, but they've never had to do it. So there's a lot of different scenarios where business owners are like, how do you create leads? Something we hammer on at the conference a lot.
Box number 7, create a sales. Why do we always cite what we say? Why don't we just, speak in generalities? Why do we have real clients on our real show to talk about their real success?
Because it's proof. Everything that we talk about, everything that we do.
Conversion system. Again, box number 7, create a sales conversion system. Sales scripts, recorded calls, one-sheets, pre-written emails, lead trackers, all of the sales tools, the sales print pieces, the one-sheets, the big screens that you see inside the business. Whether you're a doctor, you're a dentist, you're a lawyer, you got to have sales systems in place. We help you with that. Box number 8, what does it cost you to get another customer? Step number 8, what does it cost you to actually acquire a customer? Step number 9, it's hard to build an organization if you're not organized. We're going to teach you how to create repeatable systems, processes, file organization. Box number 10, we're going to teach you how to manage people, real people on the planet Earth. This just in, we're going to teach you how to manage real people on the planet Earth. Box number 11, how to create a sustainable schedule that works for you and your family. Step number 12, how to create human resources systems for recruiting, hiring, training, and retaining great people. Box number 13, accounting. This just in, we have to cover accounting. It's not how much you make, it's how much you keep. We're going to cover all the accounting things you need to know. And step 14, finally, what is the point of even achieving success? We're going to go over what is the point of even achieving success, how to design a life that you're excited about, how to design a life where you carve out enough time for your faith, your family, your finance, your fitness, your friendship, your fun, and where you're going to spend your focused time. We're going to go through that, all this and more. Now, the workshop, Sean, it's June 5th and 6th.
Yep.
It's a 2-day interactive workshop.
Yes.
And tickets, we always do it. It's $250 or whatever price that someone can afford. Sean, why do we let people name their price? Why do we have scholarship tickets available if somebody can't afford the $250 general admission ticket?
Well, we don't want anybody to miss out on it. You could be at a startup phase, or you could.
Isn't just this ethereal idea. We want to show that it it works, so we give people proof that it works.
Okay, so real life goal setting with the mega multi-million-dollar mortgage banker, Steve Currington. Steve.
Be, way along in your business, but we want to make it accessible for everybody. I think it actually goes back to a story of your dad, and like it goes all the way back to how you've always done this as a business coach, trying to make sure that your average people out there have access to the things that work.
Now 7 a.m. to 5, Sean, why do we go from 7 to 5 both days? I mean, it's 10 hours a day, 20 hours of training over 2 days. Why do we do 10 hours a day, Sean, of back-to-back workshops? We do a 30-minute teaching session, we do a 15-minute question and answer session, and then we take a break. 30 minutes of teaching, 15 minutes of question and answer, then we take a break. Why do we do that format, Sean?
That format is so that we can keep people engaged and not just sitting there listening, but also getting involved. We really encourage people to ask questions, and that's really where the juiciness of the conference comes out, is you can put your personal situation and your questions on the board, and Clay will tee off and give you direct advice. Even without being in our coaching program, you can get direct coaching from Clay. It's really a very engaging format. I enjoy it a lot.
Sean, final 60 seconds pop quiz here. What date is the conference?
June 5th and 6th, 2025, this year.
Question number 2, who's our keynote speaker coming to the conference there, Sean?
Tim Tebow is our keynote speaker.
Sean, question number 3, how much does it cost to come to our in-person 2-day interactive business workshop right here in Tulsa, Oklahoma?
I think it's, did you say it's $250 or whatever you can afford?
That's right, $250
Yes.
or whatever you can afford. Sean, how do you spell Eric Trump backwards?
P-M-U-R-T-C.
Yeah.
Napoleon Hill once wrote, a goal is a dream with a deadline.
Yeah.
And today we're interviewing you, this successful mortgage banker. Let's talk about how much...
I-R-E. Ooh, that took a long time.
I'll have to listen to this. And you did it right. All right, again, that's Sean Lohman. I'm Clay Clark, inviting you to come join us at the in-person Thrivetime Show 2-day interactive workshop, June 5th and 6th, right here in Tulsa, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Sean, I'm excited to have this event. I'm excited to see you at the event, June 5th and 6th, right here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Tim Tebow, baby. It's Tebow time in Tulsa, Jerusalem.
You could be anywhere doing a lot of different things, but you chose to be here.
Clay Clark is here somewhere. Where's my buddy Clay? Clay's the greatest. I met his goats today. I met his dogs. I met his chickens. I saw his compound. He's like the greatest guy.
I ran from his goats, his chickens, his dogs.
So this guy's like the greatest marketer you've ever seen, right? His entire life, Clay Clark, his entire life is marketing.
Hey guys, Luke Erickson here with the Thrivetime Show. As you can see behind me, we've got all kinds of energy going on. People are starting to show up for the conference, and it is hot in this place. We got grill guns over here. We've got people playing the drums. We've got a fire breather, and man, people are so excited as they come in. The conference is kicked off. This house is packed. We've got Aaron Hansis with Sean Holmes up there. We've got Steve Currington with Total Lending Concepts up there talking about what is possible when you just implement.
Sales did you do last year? How much sales volume did you do? Because some of our people out there listening don't know, the mortgage industry. But
do the proven system. So exciting. People are going crazy. Guys, Luke Erickson with the Thrivetime Show here with you. It is day 2, and the energy is high. People are so excited to be showing up. The team is ready. Come on, let's see what it's like to go on in for day 2. Follow me. I'll tell you what, people are so excited to be here for day 2. It is going to be incredible. Cannot wait to see what today has in store. Right now, here at the conference, we've broken into groups going over search engine optimization. I know for most of us, myself included, if you hear that term, you go, what is that? What does that mean? That's too techie for me. Well, our experts are breaking it down for people so that you can clearly understand how to come up top in Google. It's doable. It's possible. Now we're in the middle of a break, and what we like to do is we like to give you as much tangible and relevant information from about the start of the hour hour for 45 minutes. Then we take approximately a 15-minute break to allow people to connect with other entrepreneurs around them, bathroom breaks, and also use this time to just really digest all of the good information that you're receiving the whole time. Right behind me, we've got Bob with his grill gun, melting an ice sculpture. It is awesome. The ice sculpture represents our life, right? It's here for a time, but we all need to have the sense of urgency to implement the things that we're learning so that we can.
Basically, tell me if I'm wrong, you guys get like a 1% commission-ish, 1.5% commission-ish on the loans. Am I correct?
Right. Yep.
So if I do a $100,000 loan,
make the most of the time that we have.
I heard about it on the podcast. Started listening to the podcast, became a fan, and then figured out about the workshop. I own an insurance and financial services agency, and I was hoping to learn from the workshop systems and processes. I'm big on systems and processes, and always learning better ways to run a business more efficiently. The atmosphere's second to none. It's a high energy, really cool atmosphere to be around. Contagious, I would say. Just something every entrepreneur, I think, would appreciate and love. I'd say humorous, high energy, and full of substance, which I think is the key. A lot of business coaches or seminars maybe are high on motivation and making you feel good, but don't have a lot of substance that you can take back and implement, the following Monday, where his does. Man, there's a lot of valuable things. I'm gonna say, this is my second workshop. The first workshop I took back really the importance of a group interview. I used to spend hours and hours interviewing people, screening resumes, and that saving my time on that part is valuable. It was that and then the sales scripting that have been two major things just so far. Man, I think they're missing out on, expert advice from somebody who's been there, done that, built companies, has learned a lot of lessons. That's what I'm always looking for, is somebody that I can learn from. That's
you're making $1,500.
Yep.
And if I'm doing a $300,000 loan, you're making $4,500.
Right.
So talk to me. How much revenue did you do in mortgages this year?
We did
where I am, and I think if you choose not to come, you're missing out on a lot of good advice that could help your business.
Hi, this is Charles and Amber Kolaw. We're the owners of Kolaw Fitness. We heard about Clay Clark through Paul Hood, our CPA. We've worked with Clay Clark for the last 2 years. Clay Clark has helped us take our 3 locations in 3 different states and create checklists, workflows, task lists, time blocks for every employee. He's helped us with creating systems and audits for every department, quantitative scorecards for each department and every position so that everybody has a number. It's been able to give us a lot of time freedom and financial freedom and peace of mind to know that everything's running efficiently, and he's been helpful with a lot of marketing, search engine optimization, helping us really rank high in Google, and pretty much every area of the business. It's been very, very helpful.
We would describe the experience of working with Clay as very energetic. He's full of energy. He's very encouraging, very motivating, but also accountable. So he keeps us accountable, and we love that accountability. It keeps our drive in the right direction, so we're not chasing things that aren't worth spending our time on.
Yeah, he's a great coach. He helps push us on certain areas, helps coach us in certain areas. We're all emotional creatures, and we go up and down, and he actually will tell us kind of where we're at, how we can get from there, and even emotionally, when we're stressed about something, he'll have a story to relate to, and it really helps us in every area of our business. It's been very, very helpful.
Right at 20 million in loan volume.
20 million?
Just out of the Tulsa branch.
So for people out there that aren't, really good with the whole math game, that's fine. We're gonna do some math here for you. So this would be I
think Clay's ability to have a whole team behind him that help him with all of his clients, all his coaching clients, is that it allows Clay to do what he's really good at, and that's working one-on-one with the client and coaching them. And then he can have his amazing staff come in and help you accomplish all these goals that you're setting.
And of course, he has all these resources, whether it's videographers or whether it's web developers. that they can quickly jump on your project, knock things out. He can quickly give you the right coaching. He's just got a whole team of people that whatever area you're lacking in your own company, he's got resources from like video, web design, search engine guys who are just knowledgeable in that. Even though he knows a lot of that stuff, he's got these capable lieutenants that are ready to just take off and help you get that stuff. More stuff gets done on a weekly basis than you would on like probably most than the individual or some other company. We've worked with several companies before, and it's just not as many things get done on a weekly basis, so it's been very helpful. Well, the conferences for me, I'm a slow learner, so I have to learn like over and over again, hear things over and over again. I've been to like, I think 8 different conferences, and each time you come, I learn a few new components. Some things are repetitive, but a lot of the stuff just resettles and I get a little bit more depth into each component. I've been to 8 of them. They're all super entertaining. He's very funny, very encouraging. You get to kind of
approximate about $300,000 of income. We could speculate that you were able to pay taxes on.
Reflect a lot. A lot of the stuff is really polarizing. You do a personal inventory of yourself, and you'll think like, hey, I've really got to work on this, really got to work on that. So every time you come, I still get a lot of value out of it.
And as much as every conference is the same, it's totally different. So I think we'll hear stories we haven't heard before. He'll have entertainment, or he'll have speakers he didn't have before. And you, like you said, you just always catch a different part of the material that maybe you didn't catch before, or it's worded differently.
And it's really cool because some people that you've seen like a year ago at a conference, now they're being showcased as a success story, and you get to see their website, you get to see how their stats, all their metrics have improved and the revenue improved. So it's really cool to see people that just a year ago, that of course we've been here 2 years, that just came, that I met, is now being successful. It's really encouraging to see other people, accomplish that stuff. So Clay has helped us optimize our website and helped with really topping the right search engines that we need to make sure that we are very, very competitive with all of our other competitors. He's done, basically he outlines exactly what you need to be accomplishing, and he creates tasks that we have to accomplish and his team has to accomplish. And I would say over the last 2 years, we've totally ramped our website. We're topping Google in every one of our markets. We're just doing, I would say, just doing really, really good. I feel very, very confident in all of our future locations and making sure that we're in front of the ideal and likely buyer. It's very encouraging. It's important to me to know when I'm working with Clay.
Reviews of our video testimonials, all of those things coming together as a full marketing plan has really helped us out. So we can't say thank you.
Right.
And so this year we've got some big goals.
Right. Yep.
Talk to me about this year. We were just talking that this year you want to go for what's the total this year? What's the big goal?
We're going to go for.
I've been in business for a while and met with him even when I already had three businesses in 3 different states. And to know that what I share with him is staying private. He's not sending that out to anybody else. To know that when he's working with me, he's only working with no other gyms that are in direct competition with me. It's very encouraging to have somebody you can trust and rely on, that he isn't going to somehow tell your trade secrets or give information away. Just really awesome that he's a trustworthy guy, really cares about you as a client. For us, it's been a complete mind freedom because Clay has helped us create a lot of different documents and one-sheets for every department, put quantitative scorecards to each department. And so for us, it's been very encouraging and gives us peace that when, as an entrepreneur, it's stressful. You go to bed at night and you're worried, did we cover this, did we cover that? So he helps extract everything out of your brain, everything from your business, put it into document creation, put it into checklists and workflows for every person in each department, and make sure that everything's getting done every week, every month, and funnel that all into KPIs or key performance indicators that you can see on a weekly basis to make sure you're moving the needle in the right area of your company. So it's very encouraging and give you a complete mind freedom and peace to know that stuff's created so you're easy to duplicate and scale your company.
Right, and then we can spend time doing what we're really good at and just trust the system.
I honestly believe everybody needs a coach. I think we're all inherently lazy and selfish and carnal. I truly believe that humans are humans. If we're standing, we'd rather sit. If we're we're sitting.
50. I think we'll eclipse that, but we've
$50
got
million.
Yeah, we've got some. So for about, and you know this, Clay, because we've been working together, but
We'd rather lay down, and if we're laying down, we'd rather be asleep. So to have somebody that challenges you, have real active candor, and be honest with you on every aspect of your company is really, really encouraging to me, because I want to know, I want to work on what we're weak at. I want to see any areas that we're not doing well in, and see his perspective from a third party, because you can look at your own business and just see the good. It's good to have somebody who does this, who's done this with hundreds of companies. Really look at your company, reflect on your company, and see like little chinks in the armor to make sure you cover that up so your competition can't get to you, and that you're successful overall in the big picture. So yes, I would recommend Clay Clark, because he is a great friend, a great encourager. To me, he's been a wonderful friend. He's also, you can tell he cares, and he has this wealth of knowledge. He's worked with so many different companies and different businesses. He could take a concept that he's used before in the past with somebody totally different industry and see how it would work perfectly for you in whatever niche market you're in or whatever type of service you're providing. And so his brain is just a wealth of knowledge, and just to have that type of perspective on, as a part of your team and your own company is huge, super valuable. So I would definitely encourage people to use him. But one thing is, you got to be coachable. You got to be wanting to get feedback. You got to be wanting to really grow your company. You got to want to put that extra 10 hours a week to working on your business and not just in your business. And so, yes, I would recommend it to anybody who's wanting to grow their company and provide great systems, checklists, workflows, great encouragement, and have accountability.
First, from 16 until pretty much the beginning of 19, much of my time was spent in we built 14 websites for TLC. We completely rebranded the entire company.
Hi, I'm Aaron Antis with Shaw Homes. I first heard about Clay through a mortgage lender here in town who had told me what a great job he had been doing for them, and I actually noticed he was driving a Lamborghini all of a sudden, so I was willing to listen. In my career, I've sold a little over $800 million in real estate. So honestly, I thought I kind of knew everything about marketing and homes. And then I met Clay, and my perception of what I knew and what I could do definitely changed. After doing $800 million in sales over a 15-year career, I really thought I knew what I was doing. I've been managing a large team of salespeople for the last 10 years here with Shaw Homes. And I mean, we've been a company that's been in business for 35 years. We've become one of the largest builders in the Tulsa area, and that was without Clay. So when I came to know Clay, I really thought, man, there's not much more I need to know, but I'm willing to listen. The interesting thing is our internet leads from our website has actually, in a 4-month period of time, has gone from somewhere around 10 to 15 leads in a month to 180 internet leads in a month. Just from the few things that he's shown us how to implement that I honestly probably never would have come up with on my own. So I got a lot of good things to say.
We put everything in place, from website forms to building the call center to, like, you name it, we did. And then
about the system that Clay put in place with us, and it's just been an incredible experience. I am very glad that we met and had the opportunity to work with Clay. So the interaction with the team and with Clay on a weekly basis is honestly very enlightening. One of the things that I love about Clay's perspective on things is that he doesn't come from my industry. He's not somebody who's in the home building industry. I've listened to all the experts in my field. Our company has paid for me to go to seminars, international builder shows, all kinds of places where I've had the opportunity to learn from the experts in my industry. But the thing that I've found working with Clay is that he comes from such a broad spectrum of working with so many different types of businesses that he has a perspective that's difficult for me to gain, because I get so entrenched in what I do, I'm not paying attention to what other leading industry experts are doing. And Clay really brings that perspective for me. It is very valuable time every week when I get that hour with him. From my perspective, the reason that any business owner who's thinking about hooking up with Thrive needs to definitely consider it is because the results that we've gotten in a very short period of time are honestly monumental. It has really exceeded my wildest expectation of what he might be able to do. I came in skeptical because I'm very pragmatic, and as I've gone through the process.
Beginning of 19, I just kind of refocused my efforts on back to what I'm really good at, which is originating loans. And just in 19, from 18 to 19, we increased by 66.
Over just a few months, I've realized it's probably one of the best moves we've ever made. I think a lot of people probably feel like they don't need a business or marketing consultant because they maybe are a little bit prideful and like to think they know everything. I know that's how I felt coming in. I mean, we're a big company that's definitely one of the largest in town. And so we kind of felt like we knew what we were doing. And I think for a lot of people, they let their ego get in the way of listening to somebody that might have a better or different perspective than theirs. I would just really encourage you, if you're thinking about working with Clay, I mean, the thing is, it's month to month. Go give it a try and see what happens. I think in the 35-year history of Shaw Homes, this is probably the best thing that's happened to us. And I know if you give them a shot, I think you'll feel the same way. I know for me, the thing I would have missed out on if I didn't work with Clay is I would have missed out on literally an 1,800% increase in our internet leads. Going from 10 a month to 180 a month, that would have been a huge financial decision to just decide not to give it a shot. I would absolutely recommend Clay Clark to anybody who's thinking about working with somebody in marketing. I would skip over anybody else you were thinking about, and I would go straight to Clay and his team. I guarantee you're not going to regret it because we sure haven't.
Percent in loan volume that we did in Tulsa, just in our Tulsa branch. So, but some of that work that we did.
My name is Danielle Sprick, and I am the founder of D Sprick Realty Group here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. After being a stay-at-home mom for 12 years and my 3 kids started school and they were in school full-time, I was at a crossroads and trying to decide what do I want to do? My degree and my background is in education, but after being a mom and staying home and all of that, I just didn't have a passion for it like I once did. My husband suggested real estate. He's a home builder, so real estate and home building go hand in hand, and we just rolled with it. I love people, I love working with people, I love the building relationships, but one thing that was really difficult for me was the business side of things. The processes and the advertising and marketing. I knew that I did not have what I needed to make that what it should be. So I reached out to Clay at that time, and he and his team have been extremely instrumental in helping us build our brand, help market our business, our agents, the homes that we represent. Everything that we do is a direct line from Clay and his team and all that they've done for us. We launched our brokerage, our real estate brokerage, 8 months ago. And in that time, we've gone from myself and one other agent to just this week, we signed on our 16th agent. We have been blessed with the...
Was through, doing our Dream 100 and building relationships and taking some time to really target some top producing teams or people that are selling a lot of real estate.
So let's talk about
the fact that we right now have just over 10 million in pending transactions. 3 years ago, I never would have even imagined that I would be in this role that I'm in today, building a business, having 16 agents. But I have to give credit where credit's due, and Clay and his team and the business coaching that they've offered us has been huge. It's been instrumental in what we're doing. Don't ever limit your vision. When you dream big, big things happen.
I started a business because I couldn't work for anyone else. I do things my way,
I do what I think is in the best interest of the patient. I don't answer to insurance companies. I don't answer to large corporate organizations. I answer to my patient, and that's it. My thought when I opened my clinic was I can do this all myself. I don't need additional outside help in many ways. I went to medical school. I can figure this out. But it was a very, very steep learning curve. Within the first 6 months of opening my clinic, I had a $63,000 investment. I lost multiple employees. Clay helped us weather the storm of some of the things that are just a lot of people experience, especially in the medical world. He was instrumental in helping with the specific written business plan. He's been instrumental in hiring good quality employees, using the processes that he outlines for getting in good talent, which is extremely difficult. He helped me in securing the business loans. He helped me with web development and search engine optimization. We've been able to really...
This for a second. Napoleon Hill, who is the guy behind Think and Grow Rich, he talks about how you have to...
A steady stream of clients coming in because they found us on the web. With everything that I encountered, everything that I experienced, I quickly learned it is worth every penny to have someone in your team that can walk you through and even avoid some of the pitfalls that are almost invariable in starting your own business. I'm Dr. Chad Edwards, and I own Revolution Health and Wellness Clinic.
Clay, my honor to be on your show, and thank you for all you do. I hear the ripple effects from you are good ripple effects. You know what I mean? People rave about what they learned from you, so congratulations.
And we went from expecting maybe 250,000 this year to we're at 400,000. Hi, I'm Kelsey with K&D's Woodruff Finishing, business owner at 23. So I've been working this K&D's company for about 5 years now. We started working with Thrive not too long ago. And we went from expecting maybe 250,000 this year to we're at 400,000. That's what we're going to hit or exceed. So we're pretty excited about that. It's been pretty much just listening to what they have to say. Their hiring process has just really been incredible as far as finding good quality help, and the just the accountability of meeting up with them weekly, and like such good insight, the resources that they have for specific business questions. It's all been really incredible. It's been a great experience, so I would recommend it to anybody.
What I've seen from Clay and his group at Thrive is
emotionalize the goals. He says positive and negative emotions cannot occupy the mind at the same time. So Jason, let's talk about that. You've had some great clients you've worked with this year.
They'll give you a simple system, and it's the simple systems are the ones that people can wrap their brain around. They're the ones that people can work with on a day-to-day basis.
Hi there, my name is Stephanie Pipkin. I am 24 years old and I own Black River Falls Cleaning Services. We opened in April of 2019 and it is now mid-June of 2020. So I wanted to talk today about the success and growth I have achieved by implementing the Proven Path with Clay Clark's team and my business coach Luke from Thrivetime. It has been insane to say the least. I started working with them in mid-February of this year, so we're about 4 months in of working together, and it has completely transformed my business in pretty much every facet. So I'm going to check my notes here. So in 4 months, my leads have tripled. I was getting probably like 2 leads a week. Now I'm getting more in the like 10 to 15 leads a week. I have doubled my number of employees. I'm now hitting the highest revenue weeks in the history of the company, week to week it seems like. We went from about 6 appointments today as our highest in February to now 14 to 15 appointments a day. And hiring quality employees has become much simpler and less stressful by using their systems for hiring. I typically only get maybe 2 complaints a month, if that, and everybody
who have a little doubt they show up with.
Yeah.
Little bit of doubt. Little bit of doubt. Why can't they
shows up to work? I just have really high quality employees now, especially in something people typically consider a high turnover type of work, you know, cleaning houses, cleaning businesses. I have amazing employees now, and I get rid of the ones who are not so amazing and bring on new ones because of, you know, group interviews and interviewing every single week. It's just been great, and such I don't waste as much time on low quality candidates anymore. And your coach will hold you accountable. I mean, which I love. Again, the tough love is really great. You know, Luke's like a stern father figure, but he's also nice, but also stern when he needs to be when I'm being lazy and not doing the things that I know I need to do because I don't want to do them. So that's just great. Worth every penny. I mean, I'd pay him $1 million a month if I can, and maybe someday I'll be able to, but I would just say go for it. If it seems like a good fit, just go for it. Do what they say, even if you think it's stupid or ridiculous, just do what they say because it'll work. You know, people, when they look at my business, you know, people in my town, they think I'm lucky. They think I'm just, you know, things just happen for me. And, you know, maybe I am lucky, but it has a lot to do with hard work and, you know, perseverance and, you know, working till you cry sometimes. That's just being an entrepreneur, which if you're a business owner, you understand that. But it's having these systems in place of, you know, of course I'm going to be successful. It's an absolute because I have all this stuff in the background happening, and I have Luke and Clay and everybody on their team working really hard to make sure that I'm a success. And I can tell that they are just so excited.
Thank you enough for Clay Clark, Thrivetime, and Andrew Bloomer, who's worked with us for 3 years now. So wonderful job, guys. Thank you for all you do.
Goals! There have been some super famous goals over the years.
bring a little bit of doubt and a little bit of faith to the same conversation?
Because they're contradictory ideas. Like if you say you have faith in the system but you doubt it, you don't have faith in the system.
Excited every single week when I'm having all these wins and things like that. They're so excited for me. So it's the best thing ever, and I would suggest to anybody to work with them. So sorry for the long-winded reply, but I just had so much to say, and I could go on for hours probably about how amazing they are. But thank you to Clay and Luke and the entire team there, everything you guys have done for me, and I am so excited to continue to work with you for years to come. Thanks so much for watching.
My saying is, if it's important to you, hire a coach. And I think that's one of the reasons people are not successful is they eat a cheeseburger instead of hiring a coach. You know what I mean? And so my coach pushes me. They're younger than me. They push harder. They're trained. And as my rich dad always said, amateurs don't have a coach, but professionals always have coaches. So I've always had coaches for whatever is important. My rich dad was one of those persons. I wanted to learn how to play Monopoly in real life, so he was my coach.
So if you have faith in the system, but you doubt it, you don't have faith in the system. So Currington over here, this is why people ask me all the time, why do you guys only take on 160 clients? Steve, can you speak to this, why I only take on 160 clients? Because you're a client, but I'm sure you figured it out at this point.
Well, yeah, I think one is that becomes exclusive, that there's people that want to hire you that either because you don't want to hire them or for other reasons, you limit how many clients you'll take on, because if you just had an unlimited amount of depth to be able to take on anybody and everybody, it would essentially could create less value for you and your team.
But you've got to emotionalize your goals. Let's talk about this, okay? So Napoleon Hill wrote, all thoughts which have been emotionalized and mixed with faith, a.k.a. expectancy, begin immediately to translate themselves into their physical equivalent. So when we talked about your business 5 years ago, it was a startup. Am I correct?
Correct.
And you just did $20 million of revenue this year?
Yeah.
$20 million?
We did $20 million of loan volume. Just in Tulsa. But I mean, as a company, we grew from 18 to 19, we grew by 149%.
Wow. So
across TLC.
What did you do as a company?
So I don't have the exact number because I don't really care anymore.
But none more famous than the 1999 Women's World Cup winning goal by Brandi Chastain. That was a good one.
Yeah.
How much is it? How much is it? Like what's the total? We're supposed to be pessimistic.
Let's say when I started, we did as a company, we did about $60 million in volume. In 15, the year that right when I stopped. In 16, I think we increased that to about 90 million. And so it's gone up incrementally since then, but just from 18 to 19, we probably went from, I think we went from about 100 million to about 250 million.
So again, I want to make sure we're getting this. If you're out there scoring at home, okay, folks, from an initial phone conversation, this is a startup thing, to $250 million of revenue. Right here, just in Tulsa, he did $20 million. And right now we're talking about goal setting. These are huge numbers, but let's talk about how we're going to set those goals. Clint Howard, good to see you. So this is what we're going to do. We need to set SMART goals. We all heard this before. We've been to the motivational seminars. We've all heard this. So you got to set SMART goals. S stands for specific.
Yep.
Specific. M stands for measurable. Measurable. All right, specific. Steve, why do we have to say right now we're going to do $50 million of revenue in 2020? We're recording this show on the first of the year.
Right.
A lot of people are taking the day off. We don't know what that is up here. We turn our goals into reality. We do not lament about politics and religion while enjoying an exclusive thing called poverty-causing holidays. We keep it going. But specific, why do we have to be specific about the number?
Because otherwise it's not specific, so you don't know what you're aiming at. If you said, I want to increase what I did.
And then measurable. Why does it have to be M, measurable? S-M-A-R-T. Measurable. Why?
So good, in fact, that I reenacted it.
You reenacted it?
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
I took the film crew here. We went out to a soccer field, and we did the whole shebang.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want to take a look?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why do your goals have to be measurable? Why do we have to actually track?
Because then you can break it down so that you know what you need to do over time. So if I know I need to do 50 million, then that tells me what my monthly goal needs to be. That tells me what my weekly goal needs to be. That tells me what my daily goal might need to be. And you can track it, and we do, all the way down to the number of phone calls that you make.
So you're saying that actually tracking is a good thing? You don't dodge the whole tracking game?
No.
Why?
Because one, Clay Clark will kick my ass. Two, I know that if I don't track it, then you just kind of have this feeling about how you got to where you're at.
Which takes us back to why we only have 160 clients.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to sit there and try to motivate your ass.
Correct.
Like, if you're not going to do the stuff, get off the field. I don't need you. I don't want you. My goal is to help people that are sufficiently motivated.
I don't like you. Your mama don't like you. Nobody likes you.
If you're coming to my conference to get motivated, that's a different show. That's called Tony Robbins. That's called Gary Vaynerchuk. I'm all about real results. I don't care about how you feel. I want you to leave my conference pissed and rich.
Yeah.
I want you to leave going, I hate that guy, but I'm making a lot of money.
You don't need motivation. You need discipline. That's what most people think. I need to get motivated. No, you don't. You need
get
to
motivated.
Get disciplined is what you need to do.
Motivation's a feeling, right? We got to renew that feeling every morning. That's between you and T.D. Jakes, or you and God, or you and Tony Robbins, or you and Grant Cardone. These are all great people. I'm not that guy. I just teach the specific system. So 1, S, it has to be specific. M, measurable. 3, actionable. It has to be something you can actually apply, which we teach on each and every show, actionable. 4, it's got to be realistic. It's got to be something that can actually happen.
Roll it.
The USA could win the World Cup on this next kick. Chastain.
We're going to go from 20 million to 200 billion.
200 billion.
Wow.
We're going to go from
that's impressive.
200 billion.
That's not realistic.
We've got a lot of people, though, that want to sort of,
even if you are me,
set unrealistic goals. And it's kind of a dysfunctional leadership thing is what I would call it. It's where you get in the room with your team and you say, guys, this is going to be the year of massive success.
We're going to fail successfully.
And I recorded a little audio parody for the listeners here. I'm going to cue this up so everyone can hear this. This is what bad leadership sounds like. This is what bad leadership.
Do you have audio of me? Is that
audio of you?
Is that what you're about to play?
No, this is not of you. Let me cue it up. I think this works here. Let me try. Coming in hot.
All right. Guys, I've been to the mountaintop, and I got something to say, all right? I'm unveiling the new long-term profit goal. Are you guys ready for this? Drum roll, please. This is going to blow your mind, okay? This is what we're going to do. This is good.
$30 million
there's only 2 of us.
We made $63,000 in gross sales last year. That's everything.
Okay, look, I'm a visionary. Okay, what you're witnessing right here, this is leadership. I'm looking at where we're going to be 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now. Did Henry Fonda, when he invented the Model T, were they sitting around going, how are we going to build this car? No. Okay, they got their hands dirty, they grabbed the bull by the horns, and then they killed it.
Okay, so what's the plan?
Step 1, okay? We're going to maximize efficiency. Number 2.
We'll take it.
This one's for you, Brandy.
She missed a penalty kick against China in the Algarve Cup, and they lost that game.
Write this down.
Step 1 and number 2.
Number 2. Step 3. Emulsification.
Emulsification.
Listen, you guys follow those steps, we're going to hit our goal by the winter of 2032. Okay, what an incredible Christmas that'll be. All right, so you guys know what you're doing?
No.
Awesome. All right, I'm going to hit the links. Ooh, Daddy likes.
All right. I've had a lot of time on my hands.
What is emulsification?
It's actually evenly disperse a substance through a given surface area.
Oh, wow.
Has to do with hair.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Anyway, all I'm saying is, so you've got to set specific, measurable, actionable, and realistic goals, and they have to be time sensitive. So, Jason, we have a Napoleon Hill quote, kind of a long-form quote, but I'd like for you to read this to us with great alacrity, my friend. Go for it.
A Carnegie or a Rockefeller or a James J. Hill or a Marshall Field accumulates a fortune through the application of the same principles available to all of us, but we envy them and their wealth without ever thinking of studying their philosophy and applying it ourselves. We look at a successful business in the hour of their triumph and wonder how they did it. But we overlook the importance of analyzing their methods, and we forget the price they had to pay in the careful and well-organized preparation that had to be made before they could reap the fruits of their efforts.
So we're saying that most people out there look at somebody who's successful, and then they want to be successful, but they don't want to take the time to break down how they did it. Steve, can we give away all of our secrets real quick here? Because you and I, we know that even if you live in the Tulsa area, one, I'm not going to coach you because we're already working with you.
Yep. Sorry, sucker.
And how many people in Tulsa have tried to reach out?
Every one of them.
All of them have reached out to try to get us to work with them. We're not going to.
You know what's great, too? Is every time they do, Clay calls me. Hey, I just want you to know.
Yeah.
There's a guy that was in here yesterday. You probably didn't see him, but in case you hear, I didn't know that he wanted to hire me to help him with his mortgage company.
This most recent one, we had somebody who showed up and he said that he was in the real estate industry and wanted some coaching on how to close more deals. And he implied that he was a realtor. And thus, when we met, I said, "Are you a mortgage guy?" He goes, "Absolutely. I just want to get that meeting." And I was like, whatever. But the reason why I only work with one per industry, per city, 160 clients. It works. But let's go ahead and teach everybody out there the system.
Yeah, because you can't execute it anyway. So go ahead. I'll give you the whole outline. Hey, come by my office at 101st. I'll print it out and highlight it for you.
Funny Steve Carrington story. You did this, a true story. A few years back, you said, "Clay, I would like for you to go ahead and work with my direct competitor because I just want to see the futility of their efforts."
Right.
You actually said that. He said that. I want them to be a client of yours. And I'm like, I don't know.
I don't think they're in the business anymore. They literally got out of the mortgage
But anyway,
business.
all I'm saying is, if you're out there listening, though, and you are a diligent doer, you can go to thrivetimeshow.com and apply to become a client. And through the application,